ladies and gentlemen, I'm a big fan of him, and he's what I say the best local TV reporter in the country. Became a big star on the internet with millions of views to his videos. Drudge Report linking to it, drudgereport.com, Infowars.com. And I remember about a month or two ago, I wanted to get him on, and he said, well, I'm not allowed to do interviews anymore, and I'll be talking to you shortly. And I thought, well, that might mean he's going to be leaving. And sure enough, he's put out a video. We'll play a clip of it later, but why not just go right to him? He's won both a Edward R. Murrow Award, so he's that's about as good as it gets, and 2 Lone Star Emmy Awards. He's hailing from Texas. We're proud of that. He has specialized in covering the 2012 GOP presidential primaries, the Ron Paul newsletter controversy, and Mexico's drug wars on the Texas border. He's a graduate of Brigham Young University with a master's in humanities at California State University before moving to Cincinnati and working for Reality Check. Swann spent 11 years of broadcast career in El Paso, Texas, and KTSM TV. It goes on from there. And he looks like a cross between James Dean and Audie Murphy. And I tell you, get your butt back down here to Texas and maybe come to work for InfoWars. But no, I know you're probably going to go independent. Got a lot of offers. We're very excited to have you on with us, Ben. But first off, before we get into that, what do you think of the crazy North Korea stuff?
Listen, I think you're making some really good points about it. I mean, it's very strange when you have all the rhetoric. Just consider all the rhetoric that our government has put out regarding Iran and the potential of nuclear weapons in Iran and the possibility that Iran could get their hands on one. The fact that we had an Iraq war over the idea that Saddam Hussein might be looking for enriched uranium. And yet you have, for a fact, nuclear weapons in North Korea, and everybody saying, don't worry about those guys. They're not going to do anything. He's blowing smoke. It's a very strange kind of discussion back and forth between, when you compare, again, the talking points and the rhetoric on one side, and then with North Korea, it's a totally different situation.
You're right. I've talked to a lot of experts. They've never seen the rhetoric this hot. I mean, North Korea is saying, we will nuke you. We're loading missiles. We're going to kill you. We're going to blow up Tokyo. I mean, right there, they should have already been hit. And I mean, China better just stand back, but it's not happening. And then our government allowed the transfer of the reactors over a decade ago. I mean, this is crazy.
Well, and you have to keep in mind, too, that what does North Korea really have to lose here? I mean, at this point, because of economic sanctions against them, we know that the people in North Korea are starving. Economic sanctions, as you know, don't really do anything to harm a country's dictator. It just harms the people within that country, and it makes people desperate. So why wouldn't North Korea now take some kind of monumental step and use a nuclear weapon? What would actually prevent them from doing that? And when people say things like, oh, this won't happen because consider the Cold War, and the Cold War, the Soviets, they didn't want to get blown up. They didn't want to get killed. You know, folks in the West, they didn't want to get killed. And so there was this standoff between them. It's not really the same situation when you consider where North Korea is. They don't really have a whole lot to lose at this point.
You're absolutely right. But getting back to this North Korea thing, before you leave in a few weeks, your station there, come to them and say, what, I can't cover North Korea threatening to nuke America? Doesn't that affect Cincinnatians locally? And then, you know, do a reality check on the fact that our government and others help give the fissile material to North Korea. How could they say no to you on that?
You know what? I'll absolutely do that. I'll absolutely do that story. We'll do it this next week. We do them Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And so absolutely, we'll do that story. Because again, you know, the station for us, as we're going out, you know, obviously they have their direction that they're going in. And they've never really suppressed anything we've done. I don't see them suppressing this. So I think we'll be okay with it. But I'll definitely do the story because, as you guys are pointing out, you've got great information here and sources. And these aren't wild conspiratorial sources. These are
wait a minute. Somebody else has something to say. Somebody else play him. Yeah, they have something to say to us.
Alex Jones, you piece of garbage. I don't know what your deal is. I really don't know, and I don't care.
Hey, Ben Swann, you're awesome. We need to talk off air. Have a meeting soon. Thanks for coming on, bro. I wish you all the luck.
It's not about justice. It's not about agenda. It's not about mobilizing people. It's about dialing for corporate dollars. These two parties have sold the U.S. government and the American people to the highest bidders.